Hi everyone, this is Ellen Marie Francisco. All right, so we're looking at the energies for the new moon. Right. We have the Emperor as our collective card. Well, the Emperor coming in is a very strong part. Of course, he's upside down. He's a 4. That's a foundation card, wanting to build a foundation, have a foundation. This also represents the Patriarch and our gods, in a way, our false gods in the world around us. Emperor likes to branch out, likes to spread its own indoctrination. I felt like we were going to be busting through a lot of that. And here it is upside down as a way to begin. All right, and we're being crossed with the 6 of Wands. This can very much be the astral traveling that we all do when we're not aware of it or when we are. 6 of Wands can also be short little trips and on planes and little things to see your family or for reasons around your family. We have the 6 of Wands crossing us to the sense of our own value system and things that are important to us and how we wear that in the world, how we show that in the world. All of these things are positively helpful. Can be a switch in how you deal with your family. The moon, of course, well, we're coming into a new moon. And the moon is underneath us. It's Scorpio energy. We came out of the Scorpio energies and now we're delving into the illuminating factor. We're putting some of those things that were illuminated into more effect, essentially, especially with the Chariot riding us as well. Out of Scorpio, now we're in Sag. So a lot of us had a lot of unruly creatures air their heads in this last little bit. So it looks like we're still dealing with some of that energy and the overall sense of clearing out and bringing up from below the surface. The Chariot over here on our side, a lot of this is just gearing more towards divine will anyway. The Emperor's pretty stodgy at times, doesn't really veer too much off of convention and conservatism. And here's new things taking flight with the Wands, the 6 of Wands, family values, the idea of who are you. It's not really a coupling card, although that's what I'm kind of hearing it with here. The Chariot, of course, is on a divine journey, activating your solar plexus or our solar plexuses. We've had Page of Wands in our January May 26 reading as an underneath position, down here where the moon is now, but now it's up above our heads. That's the point. We're working into the themes around this card, which is grounding our power and being able to work with our divine will through all of this. Same thing, taking flight, the bird in the background there. And with the page, this comes up in January as well. It comes in as more of a foundation. So some of us are getting used to new powers and ways that we can root in that we didn't think we could. We might not have had permission to. We didn't know we were allowed to. And we're actually claiming that, a little further down the road. But this new moon in December is tempting us to bring in the vulnerability of our own divine truth and be willing to wear it as a solid foundation in these coming months. Coming around into our pivotal point, the doorway to the future, we have the Empress, a 3. So with the Emperor as the collective energies, Patriarch, the authority, the ruler, and Father, Empress, the mother, just goes back to all the other readings I've done where it's showing more and more that the balance between the masculine and the feminine is really what's being called upon here, and the ability to work with those energies in the right proportion with the sense that divine is with us along the way. What journey is it with the divine? This is where we're going. More femininity. Trusting your feminine instincts, nurturing your inner child while listening to your inner mother. All of it works together. with the Empress coming in as our doorway to the future and our little Celtic cross here, we are working more towards nurturing as well. I mean, a lot of this is nurturing the mother. It's a whole family deal. In fact, when you really think about it, because you've got the emperor, even though he's upside down, well, it's telling us some of the patriarch ideas are not really what's called for now. We're calling more into the empress energies and creating and nurturing and allowing, and of course the child, the inner child. So mother, father, child, with the crossing of the six, which is family anyway. So we're being asked to move into divine versions of our own families, essentially, and work with the balanced energy, the feminine energies. Yeah, it's a great way to start with the new moon. We are in some ways rebirthing our own life plan, our own God's will. Looks like some of the themes are continuing that we had earlier in December. Tower comes right after this. We've had this I think we had this in for the December reading anyway, didn't we? So here's the December 19th new moon energy still plaguing us with a lot of change in our consciousness. We've had a lot of awakening kind of energies, and here we've got the King, Queen of Wands. She's very powerful, doesn't really need to get into the drama, but if she's unevolved, she will get into the drama. So you got to be careful on what side of the Queen of Queen King you're playing to this cycle. Because it is a lot of channeled information that comes in through the crown chakra, as it is during this moon. It seems more crown chakra actually than it does third eye. January feels a lot like third eye too, though. Well, it all feels like it's hitting everywhere, as a matter of fact, because the consciousness is changing through the third eye, but it's because the information is coming in through the crown. And again, we have the antithesis, these opposite yin and yang forces, God and the devil, right after the Divine Mother takes helm after a major consciousness shift and a move through new consciousness standards, working through the manipulations, anyway, doesn't, what the devil represents January in Capricorn. So it's just showing us that we're going into the Capricorn season, having come out of the Scorpio season. We're coming into Capricorn with a sense of our own God awe inspiring things, and working with all the exalted beliefs, that I guess, how are they saying this? We have access to some of our exalted ideals at this point, and I think this is tying into the six of wands here, because it's representative of astral traveling anyway, and going through the dimensions and things like that. So what is God but a multidimensional experience? So yeah, I think we're redefining a little bit of what our family is, how we roll with all of that. And we're very much moving more into our faith-based, because of our connection to our own divine source. This is going right to the source. This is not doing the middleman stuff. Let's not forget that the emperor and the idea of the patriarch and the authority figures is coming in on the upside down, because the empress is taking helm, taking back the kingdom. So lots of creator God energy in these women, lots of ability to mold through time and space to create. What else do you need to create almighty things with but God force and divine will surrounding you? Devil may be showing up to play a little bit, but I'm not sure how far that's getting as far as the negativity. I think there's I think there's an overall desire to cut out negative influences on the day-to-day so that, we're not as polluted by societal pains and ails and traumas, like we don't have to take them all on. We don't have to take them all on. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing for the new moon in December. It's on the 19th. So if there were new moon intentions for this new moon cycle, let's see what they would be. Through my heart, all truths are told. Through my heart, all secrets are known. I can rest easy in the warmth of my own heart, waiting for more clarity and more surety. I think we're going to have some nice new beginnings here, obviously. Well, this is Ella Marie Francisco. Thanks for coming into my channel. Take good care and we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Happy new moon, everyone.